How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
Dude, every time I see that intro, it makes me so happy when I see Alex Caceres.
Yeah, same.
He's such a good dude, man.
I was literally thinking the same exact thing. I was like, that's pretty sick that we have that.
Dude, he is
Like,
such
what
a good
guy.
dude. Did you see he's ranked in the top 15?
I did. I also saw that his business is about to open.
I love it. He's just genuinely a good dude.
Yeah, it was just so nice.
Props to Alex Caceres.
Yeah, shout out to Bruce Leroy.
So we're recording this, Will, on the 30th.
Yes.
Right? So we thought it'd be a good idea, get together and do a UFC 264 preview, make our picks, our locks, pick our underdogs, if you are picking any underdogs, covering, who's favored. I don't know, man. There's just a lot to cover with this card. This card is stacked.
Yeah, these fights, these types of videos are fun to do too because it almost holds us accountable, so people can talk shit to us and stuff. We get stuff wrong, and they can do that in so many different platforms.
Yeah, a lot of different platforms, man.
They can comment it on YouTube. They can talk shit to us on Instagram, on Twitter, both at Story of the Fight. We got a group chat on Facebook
called Story of the Fight Chat.
Yeah.
And they can even go back and be like, what did these idiots say again? And they're like, but I'm not in front of YouTube right now. So they can go on Spotify, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts as well.
Everywhere.
A lot of different avenues, man. A lot of different avenues.
And the best way to make sure you can talk shit to us is subscribe, like the videos, because then it's easier to find it again when you go back so you can talk shit. So definitely subscribe, do all that.
And like stuff. I said, I've been really active on the tweet, on the line lately. So on Twitter, on the interwebs, yes.
No,
on Twitter, I've been chatting during the fights themselves. So
nice.
Yeah.
That's fun.
It's always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now, taking a look at UFC 264 again, we're recording this on the 30th. So if anything happens to change from now to when this airs, I think maybe Sunday. I don't know.
Yeah.
But in case anything changes, don't hold this against us.
Yeah.
But from what we have so far, main card, right?
Main card.
That's what we're going to cover.
Yeah, we'll start with the absolute, the enigma, the pay-per-view draw. When everybody tunes in to watch. Everybody's here to watch Dustin Poirier. So we'll start with his fight.
Because the Dustin Poirier fight week just hits different.
I swear, man. Dustin Poirier's stock only goes up. Conor's, unfortunately, only goes down. His stock's not going up.
It hasn't as of late.
The reason is because it's already so high. Like how much higher can it go? But Dustin, the sky's the limit right now.
Talk about somebody that transcended the sport, broke into pop culture. Even if you didn't keep up with MMA, you knew who Conor McGregor was, his antics.
He was in a Call of Duty.
Was he?
He was in a Call of Duty game. Yeah, they face mapped and everything. And the worst part is, he looks more like Conor in that than he does in the latest UFC video. It's tough, man. It's tough.
Hey,
that EA
cocaine's
UFC.
a hell of a drug.
No, I guess, yeah. I just mean the graphics suck in the UFC games.
Oh, got it. Okay. I thought you meant his actual face lately has looked a little different. Face. And I'm like, yes, it has, man. That's a lot of partying. That is a lot of whiskey.
When you can't feel your face, it starts to droop.
It starts to melt off. So, dude, so looking at this Poirier, of course, the number one ranked contender at 155. McGregor, ranked number 5. Most betting sites have this as a pick 'em fight.
Yeah, and that makes sense, right? They're 1-1. Dustin won the last fight, but Conor hit him super hard. Dustin even said he had him hurt, or he was hurt himself, So, and with Conor, he has the equalizer,
That left.
I think Dustin is a superior fighter in all facets of the game, but you can bridge that gap with this one, actually, not this one, but So it makes sense that it's a pick 'em. You know.
Yep.
It makes sense. Who do you have?
Let me just.
I'm
going with the Irish green, dude.
Oh, I thought you were about to pull over a proper 12.
No, actually,
I'm colorblind.
What? You might just do that. Let me. We'll go with the proper 12. We got that Ireland green right here going in the background.
I honestly couldn't tell you change the color.
God, dude, I forget you're colorblind. No, god damn it, Will.
What was it?
It was just white.
Oh, I can't see.
Well, now that entire effect that I had to get reaction out of you was completely pointless.
It works on everybody else.
So I got McGregor though.
Yeah.
And I've been on the fence. You know how long it's been, Will, since I've picked the McGregor fight correctly. And I said this the last time, and I'll say it again. I can't think of the last time I picked a fight correctly for McGregor.
Yeah. I seem to remember. For you, no. I seem to remember picking Dustin the last time myself.
I picked Dustin in our year kickoff. When we're talking about our predictions.
Future champ,
and I picked Dustin. But then going in, I was like, you know what? I keep on doubting McGregor. And when I doubt McGregor, he comes
through. I remember this conversation. Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what?
So are you doubting him now?
No. but I'm going McGregor.
Okay,
McGregor. So I don't know. The last time was kind of weird for me. He was
the fight
different going into the fight.
Yeah.
Going into the fight,
Calmer.
He looked like a satisfied man.
More passive.
You know what I mean? Looked like a satisfied man. Life was good. Rolling in on his yacht, sipping on his whiskey.
Dealing with the sexual assault charges.
Punching old men and, a lot of different things. But
allegedly.
Poirier, on the other hand, I feel like he's as hungry as ever, right? Going into that fight, he was as hungry as ever. McGregor also super buddy with Poirier, which we're not really used to seeing. A lot of recognition for Poirier, talking about, he's so impressed with what he's done since his loss to McGregor. His work with his, what is it? The foundation, what's it called again?
The Good Fight
Foundation. The Good Fight Foundation. He got his hot sauce, and they were celebrating with his hot sauce. It was just very weird.
Those were sold out for months after that fight. They would restock and they were gone instantly.
Hey, your boy bought some too.
I tried. I'm probably going to. Not for me. I don't like hot sauce, but for Katie.
Yeah, dude, I bought some. It's not bad.
And I'll support
Dustin
in any way I can.
That's why I bought it. Because I just wanted to support Dustin Poirier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same reason that I bought proper 12.
Yeah, after he it kind of sucks that the last fight was ruled to TKO because Conor was out cold. After he knocked him out cold, within 5 minutes, I donated to his charity because Dustin's so cool.
Really nice guy. Now, speaking of that, though, there's a little animosity going into this one. We had Dustin Poirier that was saying that McGregor ducked out on the donation.
Not just saying, but see, that's how I see.
He ended up donating afterwards to the Boy and Girls Club over there, right?
Yes, but that's where the true colors come out. Because you tell that story as Dustin claims that Conor ducked out. When I tell that story, it's Conor didn't make true to his word.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the same thing.
Yep.
But coming from you, Conor sounds a little bit better. Coming from me, Dustin sounds a little bit better.
Yeah. You know and Conor also says that Dustin is stealing money from the organization.
That's a little shittier, in my opinion. I think that I don't want to get into all the fan theories about it.
No, and you know what?
You know what I mean?
Whatever happened. If McGregor says that he was trying to donate, but it seemed shady. If Dustin says nothing seemed shady, we sent him the stuff he was asking for. He never got back to us. I don't know. There's Dustin's version, McGregor's version, and then the truth, right?
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that because of this, there's more animosity going in. There's bad blood. So I wonder how it's going to look going in. The press conferences leading up to. I don't even know if McGregor's really going to want to do very many press conferences. I don't know.
Well, I know they just announced one on the 8th, I think. They just announced that there was one going to be on the 8th, I think. Yeah, July 8th, Vegas, open to the public.
Ooh. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
So, but I think keep going.
I was going to say, do you think winner fights for the belt?
Yeah, no doubt. Because Dustin, the only reason this fight's happening is because Dustin passed on the title shot against the Bronx, which made all the sense in the world. But that's how Chandler got the fight, is because Dustin said, no, me and Conor have to settle. We have to have the rubber match. So the only reason Dustin's not fighting for the belt is because he wants to settle the score. And if Conor beats him, he just beat the number 1 ranked lightweight in the world. So he deserves
leap.
I think that if you beat Dustin Poirier, you deserve a title shot. And I've been one to say that Conor's been gifted title shots. He's been gifted his opportunities in the rankings numerous times. But if he beats Dustin, I think if you can beat Dustin, you're championship level, and you should be fighting for the belt, in my opinion.
And I think he could beat Dustin, and I think McGregor takes it this time. Kavanaugh comes up with a good game plan to avoid those calf kicks. But in all reality, Dustin has to know that McGregor is now planning to avoid these calf kicks. He's going to adapt.
He's going to make the adjustment.
He's going to adapt too, which makes this fight interesting again.
For me, so I'm picking Dustin. For me, obviously, ride or die, right? I said that for that last fight too, but
staying true to your word.
Yeah, for
ride
me,
or die.
Yeah, always, unless something crazy comes out that he's like a terrible human, which I just can't see happening. But until then, ride or die, Dustin. But I think the calf kicks were obviously a big deal. But I think it became this like phenomenon where everybody was talking about it constantly, right? If you went on the MMA subreddit, it was like calf kicks. Listen to Joe Rogan podcast, calf kicks, everything. I think that's just one small piece of what Dustin did to win that fight. If you go back, watch the first round at 4:40, like literally 20 seconds into the first round, Conor throws the right, left. That he always throws, right? And he falls off, right? He always does the bam, bam, and he falls off. And he angles out. Dustin.
Is that when he tries to shovel hook?
No, he just goes, he leans back, leans out of the way, check hook. Slight check hook, right? It's the lead hook with his right hand. And he leans back ever so slightly just for the check hook, right? But he cracks Conor clean. I don't think it was the first strike that Dustin threw. But 20 seconds into the match, everybody always talk, and myself included, we always talk about how Conor finds his range instantly, right? There's no feeling out process with Conor. He finds his range, he's landing instantly. You better be ready, right? Yep. And when I was watching the fight live, for some reason, I was under the impression, maybe it's because of that mindset going in. I've always thought that, right? Conor found his range early in that fight, and I was like, oh shit, this is going to be tough for Dustin. Dustin gets the takedown, tires him out against the cage, landing the calf kicks, gets cracked a few times, lands his shots. Then we go to the second round, and then everything falls apart for Conor. But the narrative that I had going into that second round was, oh shit, Conor hurt him a couple times. Mm-hmm. It wasn't, oh, Dustin found his range instantly also. 20 seconds in, you land your check right hook. I mean, you found your range. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And Dustin always talks about how Conor's one of the best counter strikers in the game. And him and Mike Brown game plan for that. And 20 seconds in, he lands his counter. So I think it's not even just the calf kicks. Even if Conor adapts to the calf kicks, I think just with their hands, I think Dustin still beats them. If they threw no kicks, I think Dustin still outstrikes Conor. Obviously, Conor could knock him out at any point, right? It's not like Dustin's going to outstrike him to the point where he's not getting hit. And anytime you get hit by Conor, there's a chance you're going down.
Yep.
But I do think Dustin's a better striker at this point. I think Dustin has evolved way more than Conor has. Conor was ahead of a lot of people when he was
also
rising.
Been so active, this entire time when you think of the last few years.
Listen, I don't blame Conor for not advancing his craft at the same level that Dustin has. I think it's just a fact. You know what I mean? I think Conor, maybe he started doing the shoulder strikes. I think those are more novelty than anything. I know people love them, and they had their damage against Cowboy, and they did some damage against Dustin, but I think they're more novelty than anything. Other than that, he throws his 1-2. He throws his jab. He throws his heavy left hand as a straight. He falls off to the side. That's it. We don't have the footwork anymore that he came in with originally because he's afraid of gassing. Well, not afraid. I'm not going to say afraid of gassing, but he's adapted his game to not gas. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, that also takes away a big advantage that he used to have, was his in and out movement, right? And his weird timing. I just think Dustin, probably because he's been so active, I think he's a better striker now. So even if Conor has adapted to the calf kick, that's not the only key that Dustin holds. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think Dustin finishes him again.
Okay, I don't
know if it's second round, but
I have Conor by knockout.
Yeah,
it's
gonna be fun.
Oh, dude, I can't wait.
Yeah, and I say that, but it's not like I don't see Conor winning. You know what I mean?
Hey, Rich, the casual, are you gonna watch this one? I don't know if you will.
I gotta see. Oh, I know. I can't do it live, but on recording, it's a little different. No rules.
Face reveal, Rich to casual.
However, hang on, I gotta get this banner out of my way. However, I do need to know if the NBA is on that day. So.
Well, I don't know.
The face reveal.
That's on the 10th. Any NBA? I don't know.
Check my schedule here.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, check your busy schedule, Richard Casual, to see if you can watch one of the biggest MMA fights of the year.
I'll let you know. I'll get back to you.
Oh, all right. Richard Casual with the face reveal. And there he was. And
just as sudden as he came on, he was gone.
He was gone. All right. So anything else on that fight? You've got Poirier, of course, try to die. I got McGregor.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Very interesting striking matchup in that fight, dude.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So interesting.
I didn't
go
think
back
I would be
go back
this
and
excited.
Watch that first. Dude, their fights on YouTube. Go back and you can play it at 0.75 speed, right? So it's a little bit slower. Dude, the exchanges they were getting into in the first round. Woo.
Legit.
But yeah, when you watch it 7.5 though, it's like you can see both of them land with more success than originally I thought. I thought Conor kind of outstruck him pretty handedly in the first. Slow motion paints another story. You know what I mean?
Got it. I'll have to do it.
Story of the fight. It's fun.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
All right. So the co-main event, Gilbert Burns versus Wonderboy Thompson. Now, Gilbert Burns coming in the second ranked welterweight.
One more run.
And Wonderboy number 4. Burns plus 147. Thompson the favorite at minus 150.
Yeah, I'll get out ahead of this and say that I think Wonderboy should already be fighting Usman right now. I don't think he should be fighting anybody. I don't know what Usman's doing. He's waiting for Colby or something. I don't know what's going on there. This fight should have been happening on the same card.
Yep.
Wonderboy versus Usman. He doesn't have to be. And what if Burns beats Wonderboy? Are we just going to have Kamaru only fight people he's already fought before for his title defenses?
I just don't know what's going to happen with Burns anymore. That I think that he's starting to become one of Dana's favorites.
Usman?
Yeah. Kamaru?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because of that, he's an active champion. He's an active champion. He's putting on a good show. He's starting to become a draw. So I think that he's starting to get a little more slack when he says, hey, I want to fight this person. I think Dana's starting to listen a little more. And he has that history, Dana.
I don't know, though, because Dana has continually said Colby is next. And Usman's saying, I don't want to fight Colby. But Dana keeps saying Colby's next.
I really think that Usman wants to fight Colby.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. And
I'll tell you this. He doesn't want to fight Leon Edwards.
Hell no.
He doesn't want to fight Leon Edwards.
He should fight Leon and Wonderboy. I don't care what order, but that should be his next 2. And I hate this fight specifically because if Burns wins, what the hell do we do with him now? He can't fight Usman, or I don't think he should fight Usman again. And if he beats Wonderboy, what does Wonderboy do at this point? He's not, you know what I mean? He's not getting any younger.
Not a spring chicken.
I hate rematches for the belt that make no sense. Masvidal shouldn't have fought Usman. Shouldn't have happened.
Had no business being in there with Kamaru.
In hindsight, it's a fun fight. Usman got one of the best finishes of his career, probably the best finish of his career.
I'm sure a good payday.
I don't care about that though. I care about legacy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
everybody
wants to compare cares.
I know, but everybody wants to compare Usman to GSP already, and that's not going to happen for me anytime soon unless he fights Wonderboy, Leon, and new contenders instead of fighting rematches that he finished. You know what I mean? He finished Colby.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was a great fight. Dana's right when he says it was a great fight up until the finish.
Fantastic fight.
But he finished the guy.
I think that he's more likely to fight Nate Diaz before he fights a Leon Edwards.
I mean, I agree. I absolutely hate champions picking their fights. I absolutely hate it. It goes against everything that the belt should stand for. The belt should stand for, I'm here, everybody come try to take it. I don't get to say, no, you've earned your title shot, we're going to fight.
Next man up. Or next woman
knock
up,
him down. Yeah. You knock him down until you knock him down until there's nobody, or you retire, or you get beat. And that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's what GSP did, you know? That's why GSP is great, you know?
It's a different era. You know, and I think that when the Fertitta brothers were there and there was a Zuffa and all this other stuff, I think that's the way that the organization was run. And that's the way that the Fertitta brothers wanted it, right? It was more of that where you see this rotation within the top 5 and everybody got a crack at the title as long as they kept on winning.
Yeah, you saw it start to change when the sale of the UFC started to kind of present itself. Mm-hmm. And I think that's when the Fertitta brothers were a little bit more like, let's make this thing as profitable as it can so it looks more valuable when we sell. And unfortunately, what they created is an unrealistic peak for the sport, I think, as far as money goes, that now these new guys come in, right?
They're trying to chase that nut the entire time.
Yeah, and they have to try to maintain. They don't want to go down. You want profits. You want year over year, right? So, like, it's unfortunate.
Hey,
but
I want profits too. I'm part owner now, Will.
Me too. Hey, and that stock has only gone down since I bought it. But it went up, and then
it went up.
So maybe Conor coming back will jack it up.
It'll go back up.
Yeah. But back to this fight, I got Wonderboy.
I got Wonderboy as well. So Burns coming off of a loss to Kamaru, of course, back in February.
Yeah.
Wonderboy coming off of 2 straight wins against Jeff, Hands of Steel Neal, and Vicente Luque. Dude, no punks, man.
No punks.
Heavy hitters, nonstop.
You could say
pressure.
the future of the welterweight division.
Absolutely. Now, Wonderboy hasn't been too active. He's been fighting about once a year right now.
Yeah. He's old, man. What is he, like 37?
He is, but you know what? He's picking his shots, and that's smart.
But
instead of just going in there and getting wars nonstop, he's still in the top 5. He's still in the talks to contend.
But through no fault of his own is he taking this much time between fights, because he's been called out Leon a bunch of times. I mean, he's been calling out a bunch of guys.
He's another one of those guys that just people don't want to fight him. Now, if I'm thinking correctly, Henry Hooft is going to, like, the chance that Gilbert Burns has is to try to close the distance, clinch up against the cage. Dude, if he gives Wonderboy the opportunity to just pick him apart with that karate stance at the distance he loves, it's game over.
I don't think he gets in. I
don't either, and I have Wonderboy.
I don't think Gilbert Burns is a fantastic pressure fighter, and we saw that against Woodley, right? Yep. Unfortunately, it's much easier to get Woodley with his back against the cage than it is to get Wonderboy.
I mean, Woodley almost walks back and waits for you with his back against the cage.
Yeah.
And Wonderboy's forward, though.
He's not. I don't think he's going to get in.
Yeah, so I have Wonderboy. You have Wonderboy. So far, Wonderboy. You have Poirier. I have McGregor. All right.
Yep.
Anything else?
No.
All right.
I do really like Gilbert Burns, though, for the record.
Yeah, for sure. We've gone that sometimes where people are like, oh, you just hate Gilbert Burns. Like, no, but we got to pick a winner and a loser. And I'm going to tell you why I think a Wonder Boy will beat Gilbert Burns if that's what I pick.
Yeah, and it's more about Wonder Boy being good, not Gilbert Burns being bad.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And just so you know, I also love Dustin Poirier. So I wore the New Orleans hat in honor of Dustin Poirier to show some respect because I was going to have the proper 12 whiskey here with the green light. So I figured, you know what? Let me have the New Orleans hat on for the boy from Lafayette. Lafayette. All right. Before that,
the casual, man.
What do you put up there? Let's see here.
No, you put in the bottom ticker. You put story of the fight, not sponsored by Proper 12.
Not yet. So we have Tai Tuivasa favored at -135 versus Greg Hardy at +145.
Did we predict this fight?
We did.
Did we talk about wanting this, and then all of a sudden it came to fruition?
Came to fruition, man.
Wonder Boy title shot.
Take a stab at it. Yeah. So, dude, Tai Tuivasa is just one of my favorite guys. I talk about this on the podcast over and over again. I want to see him win because I want to see his post-fight celebrations. More than anything,
I also want to see him win because I want to see Greg Hardy be beaten down.
And honestly, I think this happens this time.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Greg Hardy hits hard. But know who else hits hard?
The shoe.
Tai Tuivasa. Yeah. Now, Tai was been stopped once so far in his career by JDS. Okay,
a much better striker than Greg Hardy.
Much better striker than Greg Hardy.
Yeah. Now, at one point, the best boxer in the UFC at heavyweight.
At one point.
Yeah,
for sure.
Greg Hardy's never been close.
Give credit where credit's due, though. Greg Hardy has done better than I ever thought he'd be able to do in the UFC.
This is true.
I have to say that. He went the distance with who was it, Volkov?
Yeah.
Now, but still,
Volkov.
Small Volkov.
Not
Another
Smolkov.
legend. Another legend. But other than that, though, he's shown, and when I say Greg Hardy has shown that he's willing to empty the tank if somebody's willing to exchange with him in the first and second round. And I think Tai Tuivasa will, when Greg Hardy starts emptying the tank, Tai Tuivasa will be too much, man.
I think so too.
I think he's going to finish him with punches.
Yeah, I think he finishes him. There's no way. I mean, Greg Hardy could catch him, but that's the only shot he has. And I think Tai Tuivasa, unless he underestimates Greg Hardy severely, to a fault, that's the only chance Greg Hardy has, in my opinion. Because if Tai Tuivasa minds his P's and Q's, fights a good game plan, respects the power that Greg Hardy has, he'll finish him, I think. I think he's going to outclass him.
Okay, now, and that's the thing, right? He's got to respect Greg Hardy's power as well.
Mm-hmm.
The only concern, Greg Hardy's reach, 80.5 inches. Tuivasa's reach, 75. And that's the thing because Greg Hardy's a big boy, man.
Yeah.
If he just happens, if both of them happen to exchange shots, and Hardy just happens to reach while Tuivasa falls a little short, it can mean trouble.
Let me pose this though.
Ooh, let's see.
Tai Tuivasa knocked out Stefan Struve in the first round in his fight before last.
I
think he could deal with the reach.
The tower.
Yeah.
The skyscraper. I mean, I guess that's a tower, right?
It can be.
All right. Anything else on that fight? But I got my boy Tai Tuivasa.
I will be severely disappointed and depressed if Greg Hardy wins.
Tai, do this for all of us, please.
Do this for all of us.
Tai, please. All right. Irene, or I should say Irene.
Aldana.
Coming in favorite at -113. She's ranked number 4 versus Yana Kunitskaya. Ranked number 5 coming in at +105.
Mm-hmm.
Kunitskaya, dude, looked the best I had ever seen her in her last fight.
This was the hardest pick for me. This fight was the hardest pick for me.
Same here. Against Ketlen Vieira in February.
Vieira.
Irene, last win. Can you guess who it was against?
Ketlen Vieira. Got it with a check hook.
Yes. So, and man, I think this is going to be a grueling fight. very evenly matched. We have number 4 going up against number 5 for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
We need a spark in this bantamweight division.
Yeah.
We need a spark in this bantamweight division.
I don't think we get it in this fight.
Probably not, but I think it's going to be a fun fight. I think it's going to be a fun fight because Kunitskaya has shown she is tough as nails, man.
And she has improved
a lot.
Remember
Every time she goes out there. I mean, yeah.
When she fought Cyborg, I thought that was going to be her one and only UFC fights. I'll be honest. Watching that fight, I thought that's it. She came in, she fought Cyborg, she lost. That's probably all we see from her in this organization.
And she's like, you know what, Will, screw you.
Yeah, and since then, I mean, she beat Marion Renault, Solyarenko, who just had a pretty nasty fight this past weekend, and then Ketlen Vieira, who's pretty tough. I mean, Aldana got the win in that fight, but by no means was she outclassing her that fight. That was close. They were both landing on each other, and she just happened to finish her. But it was a very competitive fight where I think Kunitskaya versus Vieira, not even close. I think Kunitskaya ran away with that one. And obviously MMA math doesn't work, but
not all the time.
But what I did see is the improvement from Kunitskaya and game planning and imposing her will.
Where is this going, Will?
I got Kunitskaya.
So you're picking a dog?
Yeah. I think Aldana is perceived to be better than she actually truly is because of that knockout against Ketlen. I think that rose her stock higher than it should be.
Yeah, I thought I was going to have a contrarian pick here. Damn it. That's why I was like, Kunitskaya is a dog that takes this one I put down on my notes here.
Yeah, I think she outworks her. Unless Aldana has made the adjustments she needs to after her Holly Holm fight, because that exposed some holes. Hopefully she recognized those holes and really worked to fix those. But yeah, I got Kunitskaya.
I mean, when you take a look at Aldana's opponents, you know, she lost to Holly Holm, who's still an elite fighter.
Yeah, you don't beat her unless you're really good.
And Raquel Pennington, which has shown Rocky's pretty tough, very tough. You know, so she's lost recently against some really good fighters. But I still see the improvement from Kunitskaya fight after fight after fight. I expect her to even improve more from her last fight against Ketlen Vieira. So I have Kunitskaya as well.
Yeah, I think Aldana is a pretty easy fighter to figure out and game plan against. And I think that's what Kunitskaya has shown that her team is really good with, is game planning, and she's shown that she can actually follow a game plan. And I mean, to a T, really. She looked really good her last fight. So
I was showing Kunitskaya's fights on his own. So I like this one for Kunitskaya. All right.
Me too.
And then before that fight, we have undefeated O'Malley.
Undefeated O'Malley.
According to him, he's undefeated. 13-1.
Yeah. 13-1.
Versus Kris Moutinho.
Yeah.
His debut.
Man, it really sucks because he was supposed to fight Louis Smoka, who Smoka's a Reddit guy. He was active on the MMA subreddit well before. Dude, the MMA subreddit sucks now. It used to be the best. It used to be so good. People would talk shit. You find out interesting stuff. Every once in a while, some like amateur fighters would pop in, or like some like guys trying to make it would pop in. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm on here all the time," and then you see them progress and get to the UFC or something, and you're like, "Oh shit!" And they still represent. Like Chris Camozzi used to wear the r/MMA logo as his walkout shirts before like the Reebok deal and stuff like that. Like it was just sick. Joe Lozon used to be on there all the time. But now it sucks. You can't even post anything. The mods will just be like, "Oh, this isn't relevant," and then just it gets removed. It fucking sucks. Damn. The reason I bring it up is Smoke is an old school r/MMA guy from before it sucked, and so I was excited to see him fight O'Malley, right? Because it's one of those fights where I like both the guys. Fortunately, he had to pull out. Or unfortunately, he had to pull out. Ricky Simone was about to take it. They were both calling each other out. Didn't happen.
Saw that.
And we got this guy.
Yeah. I mean, good for O'Malley, I guess.
I mean, he still gets to fight.
He's the largest favorite, by the way, that I've seen in the main card. In the main card at minus 400.
as he should be.
Yes, absolutely.
I think it's cool because he got removed from a Conor fight in the past, correct? I don't remember which one it was, but yes, he was supposed to fight Quinones against Quinones on the Khabib Conor fight. Was supposed to be O'Malley's like big coming out party.
Yeah,
a ton of new viewers. He's got an interesting style. He's electric. You either love him or you hate him. Would have been pretty big for him. He got pulled because of the testing positive for Irene, which was some bullshit, and there's all kinds of bullshit going on with that. Sucks. But now he gets to fight on his Conor card. A bunch of people get to see him. He's obviously much bigger now than that time, so the opportunity isn't as important, but still kind of feels like he's getting his moment again.
Yeah.
And even more so because he probably is going to come out with very little hesitation and kind of let everything flow, and we'll get to see kind of a textbook showcase of what he can do. I'm not saying he's going to run through this guy. I just don't know much about this guy. But on paper, it seems like they kind of brought somebody in for O'Malley to kind of style on.
That's what it seems like, and
I hope he proves me wrong because I would love to see O'Malley get tested and overcome something, because every time he gets tested, he tests positive for Austrian. But
I see what you did there.
But every time we see him get tested, really, he kind of folds a little bit, and that's been his biggest downfall and the stopping the hype that he's kind of built for himself. But I'm still a believer. I would love to see this guy come in, test him, do well for himself, have a good UFC career. I would want a good fight. So, but I got O'Malley.
I tried to do some research on Moutinho.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry I'm mispronouncing the name, but I've never heard of this guy before. Now,
yeah,
he's got a lot of decisions.
He's got a lot of decisions, and all his losses are finishes.
Which, when you put those two together and you take a look at his opponent, O'Malley, I say O'Malley's probably the biggest lock of the night. If I were to pick one fight, I'd say this is where
I have to be sure on. Yeah.
Yeah, then I'd probably say O'Malley. Now,
yeah,
that's the last fight of the main card. If I were to pick one underdog in the entire card, and I'll ask you for yours, but I'll probably go with Ryan Hall at minus 200. Plus 200.
Ooh, Ryan Hall, the underdog. Ooh, that's a tough fight, man.
It's a tough fight.
That's a tough fight.
But if I'm gonna go with a little parlay, I'd probably go with the Ryan Hall, Sean O'Malley, in the mix.
I could see that.
Tuivasa.
Carlos Condit is a underdog.
So you go with Carlos Condit?
Oh, is Nico Price the underdog against Pereira?
Nico Price is an underdog against Pereira.
Give me Nico Price. If I'm picking an underdog, Nico Price.
So you pick Nico Price. I'd pick Ryan Hall. Maybe that'll be something that kind of separates us here.
Yeah. They both
we'll look at that too. Oh, damn it. All right. Will's Wisdom.
Oh.
Will's Wisdom. So, Rich the Casual, if you can cue up the video here, I want to see Will's reaction and see what he thinks. So this is the video that everybody's seen so far of Joe Schilling in the bar. Little bumpy bump there as he walks by. What'd you say? Boom, boom. And lights out. I mean, lights out.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens.
Warranted or not?
I don't know. I don't know what he said. I don't know anything up until this video. I mean, this could have been something that was playing out for the whole night up until this.
Can you go back a couple frames there, Rich? Okay, let's just read the back of this guy's shirt. Go back, Rich. It says ring, cage, parking lot.
So perfect.
Now, first of all, that's on the back of his shirt. As he's walking by and accidentally bumps into this guy, this gentleman reads ring, cage, parking lot. and decides to say, "Hey," and call him back.
Oh, damn!
No, I don't know exactly what he said. Joe Schilling said that he called him out or whatever for accidentally running into him. He says that when he first walked by, he gave that little head nod like, "Yeah, hey, my bad," type of thing. But then the guy called him back, starts talking shit. And if there's anybody you don't talk shit to like that, it's Joe Schilling.
Yeah. Anybody from the scrap pack, you just don't do it. You just don't. I mean, the guy's clearly fucked up,
He had a warning on the back of his shirt.
Yeah, before and after. But, I mean, they're not all Dustin Poirier. They're not all role models, and they don't all claim to be. I think anybody who's upset with this, it should probably just kind of lower they're people. They're not all meant to be heroes. You know what I mean?
Not all heroes wear capes. And in this case, I think Joe Schilling is just a hero that doesn't wear a cape.
I don't know if he's a hero. But what I mean is why are we putting them on this moral pedestal? They don't all have to be, you know what I mean? It's different than when we criticize John Jones, when John Jones is out here talking about being a good Christian, that this is God testing me and all this stuff, and I've really righted my wrongs, and then he goes and chokes out a stripper. So, it's different. Joe Schilling has always represented who he is as a person and has never really tried to get up on a soapbox and you know what I mean?
Gilbert Melendez, Joe Schilling.
I think Gilbert Melendez is a little different.
But I think of that entire crew that all used to hang out together. Yeah, and you just don't mess with them, man.
You don't because listen, dude, there's people who got into this sport because they're athletes. And then there's people who got into this sport because they're fighters. They're not all fantastic people. You know what I mean? Look at Mike Perry. You think Mike Perry's going to play any other sport?
He's an angel.
It's not just a sport. You know what I mean? So, I don't know why we have these expectations of some of these guys that I mean, and that's what makes someone like Dustin Poirier so special, right? Is because, I mean, that dude's a fighter through and through. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to be the Good Fight Foundation, charitable, just respectful guy that he is. He doesn't have to be because, I mean, he's not a public figure. You know what I mean? These guys have become celebrities, so they have all these eyes on them and all this stuff. But the reality is a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are people who didn't have any options other than fighting.
Yep.
That's who they were. They were good at fighting, for better or for worse, for whatever reason they had, and it got them to this place. But we can't just expect them to all be the best judge of character, the greatest people. And I think Joe Schilling's probably not a bad guy. I think, and like I said, I don't know the whole story here. The guy's clearly drunk, so maybe you just, let him do his thing. I saw a lot of people saying he should have done what Ryan Hall did to that one guy. He should have done what Matt Serra did to that one guy, where they take him down, full mount him, make him look stupid. Guy's a striker. He's not a Serra jiu-jitsu guy. He's not Ryan Hall. Dude, he's smoking Joe. You know what I mean? He was a kickboxer before MMA, Go watch any MMA fights of Joe Schilling and watch him shoot a double leg.
I would love to hear Bruce Buffer, where he's like, in the blue corner, a street fighter. How he always describes what discipline. Joe Schilling's a street fighter, bro.
Yeah,
that's what he is.
Yeah, I mean, this happens on video. It kind of.
I think he's put it perfectly. Some guys are great athletes. Some guys get into this because they're fighters. Joe Schilling, being in kickboxing, being in UFC, being in anything, will end up fighting either way.
Yeah, dude.
In bars.
Yeah.
I'm not a role model. Charles Barkley. That's a good quote.
Yeah. Also, I mean, that dude. Can you pull the video back up, Rich, please?
Okay, no, but when he's still standing, there we go.
Right there's fine. Right there's fine. That looks like a guy who's never been punched in the face before.
That is very true.
That looks like a guy who probably gets what he wants a lot. You know what I mean? That looks like a guy who doesn't realize that you can't just run your mouth to everybody because some people are going to just fuck you up.
Yep.
Is
that Mario Yamasaki?
I know.
Does that not look like a young Mario Yamasaki? If you ever wonder what happened after he let fights go on too long, here he is. He's bartending.
Yeah.
But dude,
This one perfectly.
look, same thing. I saw people just talking shit online about Joe Schilling, saying, "Hey, dude, he should have way more control than that." You know what?
Why?
So should that guy. So should that guy.
Maybe don't talk shit.
Have you read all the stuff going on too? Like people that were sending messages to Joe Schilling saying, like, "Hey, I know that guy. That guy's a piece of shit." Some girl
I don't know much backstory about this.
Dude,
I just saw the video. Yeah.
Joe Schilling shared DM too, saying, "Hey, like I'm his ex-girlfriend. He used to abuse me all the time," and
Doesn't
like
surprise me.
all these different things just coming through, and that's what I'm saying. Not all heroes wear capes. You know what I mean?
Also, let's not pretend like getting fucked up a little bit. I mean, he got hit. What was it? A 2-punch combo? Or was it
maybe
three?
two, maybe a third one went in as he was going down.
Listen, man. I get it. It's a hard floor. He hits his head. I mean, bad things.
1, 2.
Happen.
No, you know what? He was out on the 1.
Yeah.
Because after he got hit with the 1, dude's falling straight back, and the left hook misses due to him already being out.
It might glance.
Maybe.
But what I'm trying to say is, it's not like dude got punched in the face. Not the worst thing in the world. I mean, have you been punched in the face before?
Yes.
Me too. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I got knocked out one time. I think I was a sophomore in high school. It sucked. I felt so like such a piece of shit, you know. I didn't do anything wrong, right? It wasn't like I was picking a fight with somebody and I got knocked out, but like it was just fighting in the backyard. But it wasn't. There was no animosity. There wasn't like any bad blood. It was just we were fighting in the backyard. We had gloves on. We fought. I got knocked out. Not the worst thing in the world. I felt like a piece of shit a little bit, but guess what? It taught me. You know what I mean? Taught me a lot about myself. You know, you learn that hey, anybody out there can knock you out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's a good thing to know because then you don't act like this drunk idiot talking a bunch of shit to people because I'm not going to do that because I know anybody walking past me can knock me out. I'm not going to act like an idiot like that. I think that's a lesson people should learn. It's not like he knocked him out and then continued to beat the shit out of him on the ground where he's causing like massive brain damage. People are like, oh, he got knocked out. That's brain damage. Listen, man, you're going to live through your life and you're going to get brain damage. It's a fact of life.
Happen. Unless you live in a bubble. Unless you're
Jake Gyllenhaal and Bubble Boy. But even then,
reference.
Even then, you get bumped around. Now, dude, soccer players getting CTE from heading the ball. Like, listen, dude, you're gonna go through life. You're gonna get brain trauma. It's just a fact of life. This dude got a little bit extra, but now hopefully he learned his lesson. You know what I mean? Joe Schilling did a service to this man.
Dude, that old saying, play stupid games.
Yeah, win stupid prizes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Joe Schilling just happened to be handing out prizes that day.
I guarantee this guy has gone through his life and he's never been checked like that.
Hey, the best ever, though, I heard that I was reading that Joe Schilling just went back to his table after he went to go get whatever he was going to get and just finished drinking and eating.
Yeah, good. Ain't nothing but a thing, dude.
Just another day. All right. The next one.
In the office. Oh, there's more.
Richard Casual.
I spent so much time on that one. My bad.
It's all good. I think we just have a quick picture there, Richard Casual. So, for us, a hobby, if you put Nate Diaz in a fight where there is no time limit, I think he beats 99% of the fighters. You can't sub him. You can't finish him. The guy doesn't stop walking forward. He puts volume on you. He is the scariest, in my opinion, street fighter in MMA.
Yeah, a little sensationalized. Not the greatest take from old Faraz. But I get what he's saying. I mean, obviously, if you open up the weight classes and stuff like that, like, I mean, no time limit, Nate versus Francis, Nate's going out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember when this got posted the first time, someone was like, Francis Ngannou would be the world's best basketball player if he was allowed to punch the other team. You know, like, I get it's kind of like a it just doesn't really make sense. It's like, okay, cool. Are we changing the rules? I think Nate in Pride rules, right? The 10-minute first round, things like that. I think that's where he would really excel. And I understand what he's saying in that Nate gets better as the fights go while everybody else fades. And a lot of times, like the Leon fight, if the fight kept going, most likely Nate wins. The difference is, though, that they're all fighting within a rule set. Leon's fighting a 5-round fight. He's fighting specifically every minute of that fight, specifically for a 5-round fight. If they were like, hey, you're going in there, no time limit, Leon goes out there and puts work in. You know what I mean? Not just that, but he puts work in and maybe finishes Nate. I don't know. But people go in there trying not to gas because there's going to be moments where they have to take breaks and then go back out there where Nate's ramping up. Nate beats a lot of guys at welterweight with no time limits, though. I think I don't know. You look at like the RDA fight when he fought RDA.
Yeah.
Imagine if there was no time limit on that. Oof. Not a fun night for Nate.
Yeah.
There's guys like that. I mean,
look, man, I think that just like we're fans of the sport, so are these trainers. And just like we're fans of certain fighters, so are these trainers. And I think this is a case of Faraz Zahabi, having seen that last fight, getting just as excited as we did in that last minute, and having a platform or at least a voice that people want to listen to when he is on the platform. Yeah. And this just being shared out after you said it. But I think it's just a case of a trainer being a fan of Nate Diaz, being a fan of his last fight, being excited because it's recent, and just saying, something that just came to mind in that case, which was that quote I just read off. So,
yeah, I mean, he talks a lot now. He's got a podcast, so like he talks a lot. So he's going to say some things that aren't like the most thoroughly thought out thing and aren't meant to be like a main statement, but they're going to be posted like that as one. I mean, it'd be fun. I mean, I would love to see. I feel like every year on like the anniversary of UFC 1, they should have like a gnarly event where they're like, all right, cool, no time limits, submission or knockout only. Let's get it.
Who would sanction it?
Yeah, nobody. They'd have to get an actual island.
Yeah, or just go to an Indian reservation.
Yeah. Open weight, just bleed.
Old school. Well, that's all I got, man. That's all I got. Do you have anything else?
No, very excited. Very excited.
So again, whenever this airs, we'll see how the fights are, if they're still lined up the same way. Hopefully they are, because this card's stacked, man. We didn't go over the rest of the card, but it's absolutely stacked. It's a very good card. Can't wait to see it. And then afterwards, we'll go through and see how many fights you got correctly, how many I got correctly, see if our dogs came through. Don't forget, Twitter and Instagram, Story of the Fight. Facebook, Story of the Fight chat, if you want to go through and chat. And you can always hit us up on YouTube as well. Comment goes a long way.
Yep.
Subscribe, like. Anything else, Will?
Nope. On every platform that you can find podcasts.
That's easy. Easy way to say it. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to another week of Story of the Fight.